Hey everybody, welcome to the Kyle and Not Kyle show, iPod edition. My laptop's been having some issues, so I'm doing it via my iPod. Not Kyle's unable to join us this week. We apologize, we weren't able to get anything done last week. We had some stuff come up in real life, via family and work stuff, so we were unable to do that. We apologize. We hope you enjoyed week 4. There were some great games that week, some bad news as well. Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo, ACL torn out for the year. Earl Thomas, lower leg fracture, out for the year. Probably done. They're pretty sure he's played his last game as a Seattle Seahawk. Best wishes, obviously, to them and their recoveries. I didn't get a chance to talk to anyone down in San Francisco or in that area about, how their fan base is feeling. But having had my quarterback tear an ACL before, I know it kind of puts you down in the dumps that year. We've been able to see over the past 2 weeks, after all the uproar about the roughing the passer rule and how it's being called on normal sacks, the competition committee had a conference call after week 3, before week 4 games, where they talked about the rule. They decided not to change the rule. They're keeping it the same. But they have, and we've seen this already through these 2 weeks, that if the pass rusher is making an attempt not to land on the quarterback with his full body weight, if he's attempting to roll off or stop his momentum, they've told their officials, hold up, don't throw the flag there, because they're getting too many complaints. I mean, it has affected the outcome of several games already, and they realize we can't allow this to happen and have that much of an impact. Kansas City Chiefs had a great Monday Night Football game to wrap up week 4. They went into Denver and got the comeback win. I've been kind of reserved about my feelings about Patrick Mahomes. I thought he looked good, but also he'd only faced, 4 or 5 teams. And so teams didn't have that much film on him. Now they're getting some. Denver, that was the best defense he faced between Chubb and Von Miller and that secondary. He has a lot of great weapons around him, be it Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt out of the backfield. Sammy Watkins has been a nice little added presence for them, even though he's missed a couple games with some injuries. And one thing that I can't remember who it was talking about, but something I noticed too is, and this is what I expect when New England faces them in a few weeks, everyone's trying to rush the passer. Well, the issue with them is they get so focused on the rush that Mahomes is kind of able to slide outside the pocket, move around on his legs a little bit, and make that nice throw in the broken coverage. So he looks good. He had one of the classic college games when he was at Texas Tech versus Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma. That was a great game. But yeah, so we are noticing there is a difference in the roughing the passer calls, which I do think are a good thing. Bears defense looks really good. Khalil Mack has just been a game changer for them. Getting him there, all the defensive players said he's made them step up their game. He has almost, I actually think he's still, except maybe not now, he has better stats through the first 3 weeks than the entire Raiders defense. Bears fans, I apologize. I didn't really predict much for you guys. And you guys went out and traded for Khalil Mack like the very next day or that morning when I already done my predictions. And he's delivered for you. You guys have, I believe, it's a top 3 defense in the league. Speaking of defense, it's interesting. The Chiefs' defense is horrible this year. It's rated one of the worst in the leagues, or in the league. Interesting note, though, they lead in one category, and that is third down conversions. They allow the fewest amount of third down conversions. I think it's only around 21%, so that's going to be interesting. So if you can get that first or second down against them, you're set up good. But if you got third, it's going to be a little bit harder that time. But yeah, back to the Bears defense. Is Fitzmagic gone? Has it ran its course? They yanked him, put in Jameis Winston back from his suspension, and he promptly threw an interception. They have no quarterback, either one of them. I didn't mind the Fitzmagic. I always like seeing him have a chance every few years to get out there and look good. they're going to be drafting a quarterback this year and next. I say next just because, like I've said a couple times, I think on this show, and I know to a couple people, the quarterback draft class this year is not very good. You got Justin Herbert, maybe one or two others that even considered in the first round, but not really. So Bucks, I'm sorry. I don't see you winning this year, the rate you're going. Maybe getting one game again, maybe one or two. But with your quarterback situation, unless you can recapture that magic, I don't think it's going to happen. Jimmy G out for the year. Like I said, I just feel for San Francisco. Interesting that they're not bringing in. They brought in some quarterbacks, but they are sticking with C.J. Beathard. Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe they'd try and trade for a guy like RG3 in Baltimore. He's still there, and they seem set with Lamar Jackson. There's one other quarterback that they could consider, but I don't think they will, as he's currently suing the NFL. But I'm not going to get into that. Patriots. It was great seeing Julian Edelman back on the field for the first time, and I think they said almost 600 days. He missed not 600. Yeah, I think it was close to 600. He missed all of last year with the torn ACL, and then had to sit on the bench for the first 4 games, serving a suspension. It was obvious that he brought the juice last night. That offense looked different. Brady became the 3rd NFL player with 500 regular season touchdowns. He joins Brett Favre and Peyton Manning in that elite grouping. And his 500th touchdown catch also went to the 71st different player to catch a touchdown catch from Tom Brady. Josh Gordon, great play. And so I actually printed this out because I was curious. So here it is. We have the complete list of all the all the players that Tom Brady has thrown a touchdown pass to. The top 6 aren't really a surprise for me. Aaron Hernandez has 18. Julian Edelman and Deion Branch have 24. Wes Welker has 34. Randy Moss has 39. And this was an interesting stat I caught off NFL Network last night, listening to some of their post-game stuff. Rob Gronkowski has 76 touchdown passes from Tom Brady. He came out and said, Tom Brady's my quarterback. He's the only one I want throwing the ball to me. So that number is only going to go up. This is a list of all these great Patriot receivers and players. And then there's the ones that everybody was harping on, saying, this is going to be the next great Patriot. And most of them weren't on the team, or they were brought in super hyped up and never did anything. In fact, I had to go to the middle of the second page, bottom half of the second page, to even find a player I didn't even know who it was. Sam Aiken, he was a wide receiver that caught 2 touchdowns. I couldn't even tell you when he played for us. You got Kyle Brady on here, Kyle Baker. Algie Crumpler, I'm probably mispronouncing the first name. I'd never heard of him. And you got, Michael Home and Awanui down there. Patrick Pass, Brian Timms, everyone thought was going to be the next coming to Randy Moss. Yeah, that didn't happen. So just hat off to Brady. Just repping my Brady Super Bowl champion shirt. One thing about the game last night that I noticed, the Colts should probably be a little worried about Andrew Luck. In this past week, he has thrown 114 pass attempts in 2 NFL games. And his wide receiving core was minus T.Y. Hilton last night, and it showed. They were minus tight end Jack Doyle, and it showed. And Eric Ebron decided to sort of have the game of his career, but also not, because he made a couple drops. There were about 9 passes last night that hit his wide receivers in their hands, and they did not complete the catch. That cannot happen. That shows why they are 1-3 or 1-4, whatever they're 1-4 now. That shows why they're 1-4. Because their wide receivers cannot catch the ball. If I'm Frank Reich, their head coach, I'm not letting any of the wide receivers leave that facility the next few days unless they catch 100 passes from the Jugs machine or from Andrew Luck himself. I probably wouldn't do that route. I'd go, hey Jacoby, you're gonna be our quarterback for these drills. You got to get them so that they can make the throw. To me, if I'm Andrew Luck, I do not trust my wide receivers, and they just couldn't get the run game going. Nice step up by the Patriots defense, making some run stops. Both teams had 2 turnovers. Unfortunately, both of Brady's are going to go as interceptions, even though Brady was not responsible for either turnover. Yeah, great defensive plays. Great play last night. That was a great Thursday night game. I had fun. I was at home watching it. I'm screaming at the TV, yelling when Devin McCourty strips the ball out of the receiver's hands. That's 2 games in a row now that the Pats defense have just ripped the ball out of the other team's hands. So that was nice. Anyway, so thank you for watching this. Be sure to give us a follow on our Facebook page at the Kyle and Not Kyle Show. And we have a YouTube channel now. We've been trying to get some content up, but just, like I said, crazy time of year, so we've had to kind of postpone some stuff. So just search on our YouTube page for the Kyle and Not Kyle Show. Our logo has an NFL draft picture on there for now, just because I needed something. We're going to try and get maybe some headshot or a group photo of Not Kyle and I. So we do appreciate you liking the page, subscribing, following, and sharing our Facebook posts. We do appreciate that. Thank you to guys like Devin Scott, you've been a supporter since day one. You've been liking our liking our posts, sharing them, just spreading the word, telling people about our show. We do appreciate that very much. Rob and I, not Kyle, we've been trying to get to splits every once in a while to watch some of the games. If we are, I think we're going to try and start posting that, just so if you want to come join us, talk football, watch some good games, that way you can. We'd love to have you. The more the merrier. So enjoy week 5. You got some great games coming up. You got the battle for Texas, Houston, and Dallas. You got Kansas City hosting the Jaguars. They've been doing a little bit of trash talking these last few days. So you got some great matchups, and enjoy week 5, guys.